This is the first video of a series which is exposing the truth about the true nature of education in a variety of international schools around the world. I'm doing this by looking at promotional videos put out by the schools themselves, in which they attempt to demonstrate the very best educational practice in their schools as they see it, which is very revealing. For more background information about these videos, please watch the introductory video, which can be found at the top of this playlist. Okay, in this first video, I am looking at a promotional video published on YouTube by an international school in Uganda. In this video, the school is documenting an inter-house food competition where the children are put into house teams, dressed in house colours, and given a short amount of time to race against the other children to produce a meal. And the meals are then judged by the senior leadership team at the school, producing a winning and a losing team. Here is the principal talking about the principles.
This is an important part of our curriculum here at Kisu, because we believe in educating the whole child. And this is about health, well-being, it's about teamwork, communication and commitment.
Okay, so he's talking about educating the whole child. I think what he means by that is that the school doesn't just teach reading, writing and arithmetic, but it also teaches children to cook, which is great. But this competitive activity is not really an example of whole child education. They're putting the children into arbitrary groups, giving them the rules of the competition, and then the adults are judging the children on their achievements. This is not whole child education. That is education imposed from above. Also, he says that this is about health, well-being, and teamwork. Well, if you watch the children in the video, children are racing about in the kitchen, looking stressed, trying to win. Sorry, but to me, health and well-being is being relaxed and happy and having fun, not trying to outdo someone else based on the judgment of others. Also, he talks about teamwork. There is certainly teamwork to be seen in the video. There's not teamwork in the sense of everyone working together for the common good, but rather one group working in order to outdo the other group. This is more tribal, in my opinion, than teamwork. Okay, now here is the food science teacher.
One thing we're looking at them reflecting the principles of personal hygiene, kitchen hygiene, right use of kitchen equipment. We teach them safety in the kitchen, and then time management. We're looking at also creativity and innovation, because here we just provided them with ingredients and then we gave them 10 minutes to figure out what they are going to cook. So they were supposed to prepare a 3-course meal.
Okay, this guy comes across to me as a really sincere and caring teacher who has had his kitchen invaded by the rest of the school. Anyway, he says that the objectives are to get kids to reflect on the principles he has been teaching. Okay, you want them to reflect, so why put them under the stress of competition? People don't reflect well under extreme pressure, they go into instinct mode. He's also talking about safety in the kitchen. Okay, well, maybe it's just me, but if I wanted children to practice safety in the kitchen, I wouldn't rush them. You know? It's like, okay, everyone got a sharp knife? 3, 2, 1, go! You know, safety? I don't know. Time management. Okay, time management is important. But they're children. This is food. Now, how many of these kids will end up as professional chefs? Approximately none. How many will end up having their own families, with whom they wish to share an enjoyable and relaxed evening meal? Approximately all of them. What is the possible educational value of turning the preparing and sharing of food into a big judgmental race? When I think of food, I think of relaxation, pleasure, family and friends, sharing, nutrition, health. I don't think of having a big fast competition. So I wonder who suggested this competition.
I think our goal is to bring students in secondary and primary together, and have the older students serving as role models to the younger students, and allow them to apply what they learn weekly in their food tech classes in a more competitive situation.
Of course, the PE teacher. Everything has to be a competition because competition makes you strong. Competition is good. It's a competitive world. You've got to be competitive. Now we must prepare children for a competitive world. No, we must make the world less competitive so everybody can be happy, so children can go into a peaceful world. Okay, what in fact you have done with the children's knowledge by turning it into a competition is not develop it by creating the competition. You've created a completely artificial situation. With some imagination, there are 1,000 different ways you could have developed the food science at the school, which would be neither competitive nor artificial. Rather than showing the parents a video of your food challenge on open day, you could have invited them into the school for a beautiful, relaxed, and nutritious meal served by their children. Or the children could have worked as a team to make food to serve the community. So many different ways you could have done it, which wouldn't be competitive and would be natural and real. And of course, there's nothing original or creative about this idea. Popular TV is drowning in shows like Ready, Steady, Bake or The Great British Bake Off. And I'd like to know, why are the SLT, the senior leadership team, judging the food with their clipboards and preconceived criteria? Are they experts in haute cuisine? Why not have the kids judge it if you really must have winners and losers? Or why not invite in a professional chef who actually knows what he's talking about? Or why is the food science teacher not one of the judges? Okay, so finally, I'm sure he's not trying to promote himself, but here is the principal one more time.
Our idea for the future is to develop this from being a competition between our houses inside the school to it actually being a competition between the international schools in the Kampala area, and to host that here in our excellent kitchen facilities here.
Brilliant. This is such a great idea we had, albeit completely artificial and unoriginal, that we are going to turn it into an even bigger competition so that all the schools can compete against each other. And then you can not only find out who's the best house, you can find out which is the best school. I wonder which school is going to win. Okay, so finally, on a personal note, I'd like to compare this food challenge with a couple of educational experiences that I've given children recently. One of them was when we visited an organic farm, and another was when we visited a hill tribe village. When we visited the organic farm, the children prepared the supper. They went out into the garden, they picked the fresh vegetables, they came in, they worked together, they prepared the food. There wasn't a race, wasn't a competition. You weren't given 10 minutes to do it. You weren't put into teams. We all worked together. We prepared the food, and then when the food was ready, we shared it with the community. Everybody sat down and ate the food that we were preparing. Now, while we were preparing it, there was music playing in the kitchen, and some of the children and maybe me too were doing a little dance, and it was a happy, relaxed atmosphere. We prepared lovely food, and then we shared it with the community. And the second educational experience was when we visited a hill tribe village, and we prepared food and we gave food. We bought some food, and everybody in the entire village came and ate the food that we had given to the village. Everybody in the entire village ate the food. Again, there's no competition, no race, no teams, right? It was a real thing. We shared, and then afterwards we threw a party for the village, and everybody got together, and the children that I was with and the hill tribe children all danced together. Okay, now compare and contrast that to the artificial, competitive, unoriginal, and hypocritical food challenge